Did you know that roughly 8 out of every 10 engines that fail early weren't taken out by cheap oil, bad oil, or skipped oil changes? They were destroyed by what the driver didn't do in the first few minutes after the oil change. That's the part almost nobody talks about. You can spend top dollar on the most advanced synthetic oil money can buy, but if you skip the follow-up steps that professionals use, you leave your engine exposed to wear, sludge formation, and early mechanical failure. And here's the part most drivers never hear: an oil change is not the end of the job. It's the beginning of protecting your engine. Most people drain it, fill it, slam the hood, and call it a day. Meanwhile, mechanics quietly count on those skipped steps because they lead to leaks, wear, and expensive repairs. Today, you're getting the complete checklist that seasoned technicians, OEM service manuals, and long-term industry data all agree on. These aren't guesses, shortcuts, or internet myths. They're the same procedures used by techs who work on engines every single day. Follow them, and you can dramatically extend the life of your engine. Ignore them, and you're gambling with a repair bill anywhere between $4,000 and $8,000. And make sure you stay with me to the final step. It's the one your mechanic will never mention, because it quietly cuts into their service revenue. Step 1. Verify for leaks under pressure. After an oil change, most drivers turn the key, drive off, and assume everything's perfect. That's the fastest way to lose a full crankcase of brand new oil without realizing it. A slightly loose drain plug or a filter gasket that isn't seated perfectly can empty your oil in minutes. Pros don't gamble on that. They start the engine, let it idle a couple minutes, then go underneath with a flashlight. They check the drain plug, the filter base, and the pan edges for even the slightest wet spot. Then they lightly rev the engine to put extra pressure through the system and check again. This 30-second inspection can prevent a seized engine, just because you caught a problem that a $2 crush washer could have caused. Step 2. Reset the oil life monitoring system. Modern vehicles don't actually sample oil quality. They estimate it using an algorithm based on temperature cycles, RPM patterns, and mileage. If you don't reset it, the computer continues assuming the old oil is still in there, which can trigger early warnings, or worse, delay the next service alert. Each manufacturer uses its own method, whether it's holding a trip button, cycling through steering wheel menus, or doing the gas and brake sequence found in many American models. Look it up, do it correctly, and keep the system aligned with reality. An engine computer running on bad data makes bad decisions. Step 3. Check the final oil level the correct way. Hot oil expands. Cooling oil contracts. That means timing matters. Start the engine for a few minutes, shut it off, wait at least 3 minutes, then check the dipstick. Wipe, insert, and read again. That's the real level. If it needs topping off, add in quarter-quart increments and recheck. Overfilling is just as dangerous as running low because it can cause foaming, crankshaft windage, and blown seals. Precision matters here. Engines fail when drivers treat this step casually. Step 4. Inspect the oil cap O-ring. This tiny seal is responsible for keeping contaminants out and pressure stable. Over time, it hardens, flattens, or cracks, and most drivers never look at it. A damaged O-ring lets vapor escape, drops oil levels slowly, and can even pull unfiltered air into the system. Many OEM bulletins address this exact issue, yet it's almost never checked at quick lube shops. Replace it when it shows wear and you add years of protection for just a few dollars. Step 5. Let the oil circulate before stressing the engine. Fresh oil hasn't yet reached every gallery, bearing, and upper valve train component. Revving high or merging aggressively right after an oil change forces the engine into load before it's fully protected. Let the car idle for 5 minutes, then drive gently for the first 10 to 15 minutes. Research from the Society of Automotive Engineers has consistently shown that most engine wear occurs in the first few minutes of operation. Give it this small buffer and you dramatically cut long-term micro-wear. Step 6. Keep a maintenance log with mileage, oil type, and filter. Engines don't fail because drivers are careless. They fail because drivers forget. Many people think they're about due, only to realize they're thousands of miles overdue. A small notebook, a label under the hood, or a simple app eliminates that problem. Just as important, it protects you from warranty headaches. Dealers love blaming failures on lack of maintenance records. Step 7. Recheck the drain plug torque after the car has gone through a full day of heat cycles. This is one of those small habits that separates real technicians from weekend DIYers. After driving for a day or two, slide back under the car and verify the torque on the drain plug. As the engine heats and cools, the plug can loosen slightly, especially if the washer wasn't replaced. A quick check with the correct spec, typically around 20 to 30 ft-lbs on most vehicles, locks everything down for the long run. Don't tighten it further unless it's actually loose. Just make sure it's properly seated. This simple follow-up prevents slow leaks that can go unnoticed for months until the engine's already low on oil. Step 8. Reset the ECU's adaptive learning. Here's a trick many experienced mechanics use but rarely mention. After an oil change, the engine computer is still operating on fuel trim and ignition timing patterns built around old, degraded oil. When you reset the ECU, the system relearns with fresh lubrication in place. Some vehicles relearn gradually on their own, but you can speed the process up. Disconnect the negative battery terminal for about 10 to 15 minutes. Reconnect it, start the engine, and let it idle with no accessories for about 5 minutes. Then take the car out for a normal 30-minute drive, some city, some highway. The result is a smoother engine, sharper throttle response, and cleaner adaptation to the new oil. Step 9. Check the PCV valve. The positive crankcase ventilation system is closely tied to oil quality, yet it's one of the most ignored components under the hood. A stuck or clogged PCV valve causes excess crankcase pressure, which forces oil past seals and gaskets and even into the intake system. Every 10,000 miles, or especially right after an oil change, inspect it. Pull it out and shake it. If it rattles freely, it's still good. If it doesn't, replacement is usually in the $10 to $20 range. Engines with flawless oil change schedules have failed early simply because a PCV valve was forgotten. Don't let that be you. Step 10. Monitor actual oil pressure, not just the warning light. That little red symbol on the dash is more of a final notice than a warning. It comes on when pressure is already low enough to cause damage. Serious drivers use either a dedicated oil pressure gauge or an OBD2 scanner with live data. After an oil change, watch the pressure at idle and during acceleration. An unusual drop can point to the wrong viscosity, a failing filter, or even a weak pump. Oil pressure is the engine's vital sign. Treat it the same way you treat your own heartbeat. Step 11. Watch for oil aeration. This is a hidden failure point most drivers never even think about. If the oil is overfilled or the wrong type was added, you may notice bubbles or foam on the dipstick. That's aerated oil, air mixed into the fluid, which destroys its ability to lubricate. Think of it like whipped cream: more volume, less strength. Aerated oil can't protect bearings, pistons, or turbochargers. If you ever see frothy or bubbly oil, drain it, refill with the proper grade and correct amount, and avoid pushing the engine until it's fixed. Step 12. Replace the crush washer every single time. This $1 part creates a perfect seal on the drain plug. Reusing it risks microleaks that slowly bleed oil over days or weeks. Many manufacturers specifically state to replace the washer at every oil change, yet it's still skipped constantly. If you've ever found a small oil spot on your driveway after a recent oil change, there's a good chance this was the reason. Replace it every time and eliminate the problem entirely. Step 13. Listen for any unusual sound or vibration. Fresh oil can temporarily dampen minor noises, but it also makes it easier to detect issues that were hiding before. After every oil change, pay attention. A light tick could simply mean the oil hasn't fully reached hydraulic lifters. A deeper knock can indicate a developing bearing issue. A strange vibration could be a mounting problem or even low oil pressure on startup. This is the ideal moment to catch small problems before they become major repairs. Step 14. Take a short test loop. Don't just shut the engine off and walk away. Drive the car for 10 to 15 minutes with a mix of speeds. Make sure acceleration feels smooth, oil pressure remains stable, temperature stays normal, and no warning lights appear. When you return, pop the hood again and inspect for any new leaks. This final check confirms everything has settled correctly before you rely on the car for longer trips. Step 15. Stick to one oil brand and formulation. Constantly switching between different types, conventional, blends, full synthetics, or mixing brands can create chemical inconsistencies. Each oil maker designs its additive package as a complete protective system. Jumping between brands disrupts that chemistry and can weaken the protective film inside your engine. Choose one brand that meets your manufacturer's specifications and stay with it. Consistency builds a stable lubrication barrier that keeps wear low. When you combine all 15 steps, an oil change becomes more than routine maintenance. It becomes a long-term protection plan. This is how engines reach 500,000 miles or more. And now it's your turn. What's the most common oil change mistake you've seen drivers make?